I feel like they should have called it the delivery truck instead of the ice cream truck. But then we actually get to see the ice cream truck. So just forget I said that. But if you guys were thinking the same thing as me, let me know. Welcome back, guys. I just watched the ice cream truck movie. And I know before I even start or whatever, I know I didn't do my hair. So completely ignore that. I just got too lazy to do it. I'm sorry. So basically this movie is about Mary. She moves in back to the suburbs, her old hometown. She's a freelance writer and she's in her house all by herself because her husband and kids haven't moved in yet. They're gonna come in like 3 days. Her neighbors start visiting her saying, hey, you know, welcome to the neighborhood. But the weird thing about the movie is that they're all awkward as hell. Like from the very start of the movie itself, everything is just awkward. Everything is weird and it's creepy as hell. The guy that delivers all her furniture and stuff like that, I thought he was gonna be the serial killer or like the slasher in this movie because he just came off like with a weird vibe from the start. And same thing with the neighbors. Like, I mean, every single person in this movie is just super awkward. And at first I was like, what the hell am I watching? Like, this movie is so different. And in a way, it's pretty original. Like, I feel like I haven't seen a movie like this in a while. And when I saw the trailer to this movie, I can tell that it wasn't received very well. But as weird and awkward as the entire movie is, I was pretty interested all the way through. Now, the movie itself is called The Ice Cream Truck, and that would probably make you think that this movie is going to be all about the ice cream man, which in some ways it kind of is. But the movie itself, like at the very end, I kind of learned that this movie is actually based off Mary, and that's trying not to go into like spoiler territory. But the way that this movie was made, I feel like it was made for like a certain type of people, like a certain crowd. And I feel like with me, it actually hit that mark, like I like weird, awkward movies, and this one was kind of like that. It's very slow paced, so the build-up is really slow. And at the same time, there isn't a whole lot of scare or a lot of gore, like especially in a slasher film like this. Like, there are times where the ice cream man is killing random people for like no reason with an ice cream scoop. And that is pretty interesting because I'm not sure if you can do that much damage with a damn ice cream scoop, but it was pretty interesting to watch. The ice cream man himself, Emil Johnson, actually does a pretty good job. I actually liked his character. He was pretty like dorky, but at the same time kind of intimidating and creepy. When I finished watching this movie, I was just like, maybe they should do a movie just based on his background, because we obviously don't get no background on this guy at all. He's just an ice cream man killing people for who knows what reason. But I would actually want to see a movie based around his life and why he does what he does. Mary, I think, did a good job for the most part because the movie itself is awkward. I mean, I feel like from the beginning they set it up to be awkward. That way you know that everything in this movie is going to be that way. And I think she pretty much nails that role, I would say, because of the way the script is written. And that honestly bothered me in the beginning of the movie because the neighbors were weird. The kid, the teenage boy that's always with her, talking to her, saying, hey, can you cut my lawn or, do yard work, which is basically, hey, I'll give you some pot. That was really strange to me. Everything about this movie was so strange. It didn't make sense, but somehow it kept me very interested. I don't know what it was about this movie. And I think it has to do mainly because of Mary and then the combination of the ice cream man and then the kid or the young boy, which, by the way, he does not look like a teenager at all. Casting this guy was, I think, a bad idea because he looks like he's in his freaking 30s or like late 20s, and he does not look like he's like 18. That's just absurd to me. But aside from that, I think those three people actually kept me pretty interested. The ending to this movie itself is just a big WTF because nothing makes sense. Like, it just, things happen and that's really it. Like, nothing is explained. It kind of makes sense as to, what really happened, because at the very end there's a huge revelation as to, what happens. This whole time we're being told that the husband is gonna come in 3 days, I believe, and when that finally happens, we find out more about Mary than we should have found out earlier in the movie. And there are hints throughout the movie about, the ending, and it kind of makes sense. But then there's that one scene with the delivery man where I was just like, okay, that was thrown in there and now it doesn't make sense again. So yeah, the message from this movie was very confusing, and that's one of the biggest letdowns for me, because after trying to figure out why the ice cream man did what he did, and then finding out the revelation, which was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense, but then they threw in the other thing at the very end and I was just like, okay, what the hell are they trying to do? Like, I'm so confused right now. One of the biggest things about the film that I actually liked had to do with the music choice. It was freaking great. I actually liked it a lot. Kind of reminded me of Halloween with Michael Myers. I don't know why, but I was really digging that. In the end, guys, I actually like this movie somehow. I'm probably gonna watch it again because I think it does deserve a second viewing. Maybe it'll make more sense to me. I don't know. When I first watched it, guys, like I said, this movie was just totally weird and I was not digging it at all, but somehow, I'm telling you, it managed to keep me interested, and I like it when a movie does that. Even though it starts off kind of weird, but it manages to keep me interested in the film, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna give the Ice Cream Truck movie a 2.6 out of 5. This movie is obviously not gonna make you like run away from ice cream trucks or anything like that, so don't worry, go get your ice cream, you'll be fine. I want to know your thoughts on that ending. Like, the ending was just so like left field to me, and I was just like, I don't know about that. So guys, those are my thoughts on this movie. Let me know if you guys liked it, hated it, or loved it. So guys, if you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the little bell button. Also, if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any friends that like will like this type of movie, let them know. It's on video on demand and Amazon Prime. So as always guys, stay tuned.